There we go.
Now
Okay.
let's not say anything.
But I think I need to go back to get I need to go see if it was just my battery, if I plug it in. So you all talked amongst yourselves while I figure this out.
Okay.
But you've Kate's seen your house already, right?
I haven't actually spoken to her to give her like a tour. I talked to Rosaline on Saturday, Rosaline and I walked her around. Yeah.
When do you fly out tomorrow, Astrid?
Oh, the crack of dawn. My flight leaves PDX at 6 a.m.
Leaves.
Wait,
Yeah.
already tomorrow?
Tomorrow, yeah, I'll be flying PDX to Atlanta and then Atlanta, Frankfurt.
Okay.
All day long.
Yeah, pretty much.
Wow.
I was lamenting before Roz came on, like it's just like all the extra running around to get the COVID test, and then you have to fill out this form, and then I remember just in time to get an international driver's license, and so it feels like there's a lot of extra things to think about. Like I used to be pretty much on autopilot, pack my little carry-on case and grab my passport and go. And now it's just like, no, wait, okay, so yes, you need the little vaccine certificate. You have to make sure you have enough masks down the list.
Yeah, so different.
Did you are you there for so many weeks, or did you just buy a one-way ticket and then you're just gonna?
Oh God, no, I'm there for 3.5 weeks. No, there's no way I would do an open-ended ticket to deal with my mother. I'll never come back.
You need a finish line.
Yeah, no, it's good to have it. Like, here's the 3.5 weeks in which we're shifting you into this next phase.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, and now that she knows that I'm coming, she's actually, to my great surprise, she's cooperating, and of course now she wants to micromanage me. So
That's
no,
normal. That's normal.
Yeah, it's like, no, I mean, honestly, the woman who has not figured out how to sort her shit out in 30 years does not now get to micromanage me.
It'll be a dance.
She's like, you should do this first. I'm like, I'm going to do it the way I think is the best way to do it, given the time I have.
Yeah.
She goes, oh, okay, I suppose you can always call me. Yes, Mom, I can always call you. If I have questions about how to deal with old newspaper, I can always call you.
Have you checked into that online website that this was going back last week, or reselling some of your stuff on a local platform?
No, not yet. No, I haven't set that up yet. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Although I've been getting some new recommendations for all this sort of life planning. There's one website apparently called Get Your Shit Together, which was just bought by a company called Cake, of all things. So apparently this is a thing. My friend Ashley was telling me about, like, this is sort of like life planning. Like, it helped her with all kinds of things, not just a sort of end of life, leaving things better for your children or managing.
I've seen books like that. And that was a long time ago. That makes sense that there would be websites that would help you with
Is that like more like an organizer?
I guess I haven't checked it out. Yeah.
Like those books for dummies. Get your life together for dummies. Type of thing.
Well, I think any of us who deal with older parents, you just always can't help thinking, like, please don't let me be this for my own children or whoever has to deal with my shit.
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh.
Putting it in the chat. So that's the new discovery.
Getyourshittogether.org.
I wonder if it's just with parents or if it's with other categories.
No, I think this is everything.
Oh, everything.
Yeah,
Not just
everything.
Somebody was thinking ahead to get that domain name. I tell you.
Yeah.
Great.
Yeah, hoping for the best is not a plan. No, this is sort of she's apparently written a book, What Matters Most. The Get Your Shit Together Guide to Wills, Money, Insurance, and Life's What Ifs.
Hmm.
So that's
Do you have to settle all of that legal stuff as well, Astrid, with your mom?
Well, I have power of attorney, but it turns out one good reason to go to Germany is, the bank, for example, won't accept a non-notarized power of attorney. So somehow we actually have to get, so there's like odd wrinkles like that that are worth figuring out.
You have to get a notary on her signature?
Mhm.
Oh,
Yep.
wow.
I
Which
think
is,
that's the same here.
yeah, no, I mean, it makes sense, right? But it's, anyway, so there's a bunch of stuff like that that is all in process now. But we
Yeah.
got a really good classification for her long-term care needs, which is all, it's like a single payer system in Germany, right? And so the last hospital she's been in put in for a classification, and it just came back early today, and it's level 3 out of 5, and it actually translates into a decent chunk of change every month. It's like the equivalent of about 1,300 euros worth of services, which actually buys you a fair bit of, in-home.
Yeah,
support.
that's no small
that's-
potatoes.
Yeah, so that's great.
Yeah.
That's really encouraging. So now we have, and then we get to put the menu together however she wants it, right? Like, does she want somebody who comes in once a month to help her, or once a week to help her wash herself, or go shopping, or both, or whatever, right? So I mean, now we have resources to play with.
And that would be in a facility that she's already at. That's
at her home. So believe it or not, she's going back to her place. That is the 3-story walk up. She just bought herself a fancy collapsible lightweight walker. And
Okay.
that's the plan.
Oh, I thought that was not in the cards at all, Astrid.
I am shocked. She
Mhm.
was doing so well that they were ready to release her last week on Wednesday, and I was able to get that. I said to the social worker, "Has she described to you her living situation?" And she goes, "No." So then I did.
How's the walker going to help her get upstairs? Like, there's no lift.
Well,
There's no.
There's no lift, but the physiotherapists have been working with her like crazy, and apparently she's capable of climbing stairs again. So they're really, I mean, I have to say, to their credit, they're really trying to keep
Right, to keep her
elderly
independent,
people
and yeah.
and out of the whole nursing care situation. It's pretty remarkable.
Yeah. And there's no way of getting a stair lift put in, an elderly stair
It's
lift.
too tight. No, it's a multifamily house, and it's not gonna work. So, but I mean, it now opens the belief space for her. I mean, now that we sort through her stuff, we can start looking into the sort of more level homes, or
Yeah.
apartments in
I mean,
in a house with a lift.
right.
Or
So will you
assisted
be
living.
there when she gets home, Astrid?
Yeah.
Ay.
Yeah, we'll overlap for a week or so.
Okay. No,
Wow,
I'm just
yeah.
thinking of the clean out that you were planning to do and what it's
that's
going to be
happening.
like when she, yeah, I know it's happening, but to
When
be
she
there
walks through
when
the
she
door.
walks
She
through the
wasn't
door
there.
is going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be entertaining. Well, she hadn't realized for the longest time that I was coming, right? She
Right.
only the other day, when I've said, well, there's no way you can go home until the place is cleaned, so you have to be somewhere until your second chemo, and there's the short-term care facility that they can transition you into. And she goes, well, how do you think my place is going to get clean? I'm like, do you not realize I'm coming?
You forgot.
And she said at one point, I have to think about that. Can you don't book your flight yet? And I just bust out laughing. I said, Mom, I booked that flight as soon as I knew that I was going to be vaccinated at date certain.
Mhm.
Uh-huh.
So
So you'll
that's
have
just the way her brain works. Like in her brain, in her mind, it was all just still to be negotiated. And I said, no.
But you kind of knew that, right? I mean, were you kind of avoiding being explicit about it, Astrid?
I was,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a very
Right.
deliberate,
Let
don't ask,
her,
don't tell
yeah, exactly. Let
strategy.
her, exactly. Let her come to it in her own time.
Yeah, and she did. And now, of course, she wants to micromanage me.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
but you'll have
She should-
a couple weeks before she comes in, or a week before she comes in.
No, I'll have a fat 10 days, if not more. Yeah, I'll be fine.
With a live, can you put a live cam in just so we can maybe watch?
Oh, hell yes.
Free photos?
Yes, no, there will be like the whole spelunking. I'll turn my camera around as I walk into the house. And no, this is absolutely being recorded for posterity.
And that would be fun to have one, and then like do the speed up of
Like,
you
yeah,
know,
the
how
before and after,
everything gets
yes.
emptied out.
Yeah, the like opening up to looking around. Yeah, that would be really funny.
Yeah.
Or maybe.
That is a lot of work. I don't envy you. That's a,
Mm-mm.
it's a
Yeah,
lot
I'll,
of.
I'll have to do the photo every day from the same position so I can do the stop
Mm.
down.
Mhm,
Mhm.
mhm.
Yeah, that might be a good idea.
And you still have a little bit of help lined up from cousins, you said,
Yeah,
possibly.
my cousin, I know the superintendent, I've already talked to him in her house. So yeah, it's all coming together with, my usual military precision. So I'm capable of managing multiple thoughts at the same time. So it's
Oh my
not been a
gosh.
problem.
Oh, good for you. I'm starting to lose that ability.
You know, you'd said early May, but I'm just like in denial that it's May.
No, it's May
even.
3rd,
I mean,
my friend.
it's
Yeah.
May 3rd.
Right. It's not nuts.
It is.
Crazy. It's crazy.
Yeah.
I can't even.
Yeah.
Time flies.
Time flies.
Well, we have a beautiful May Day meditation from Rosaline. I don't know if you remember, you sent me that, not the Labor Day May Day.
Mm.
But
Labor Day,
not the fist in
Not
the
the
air
May Day.
May Day, but the
Mayday.
Not
Yeah,
the Mayday,
not that Mayday.
There's
The
a
May
lot.
Day where you're going around the maypole with little
that's the-
flower wreaths on your head. Yeah. How did you all celebrate May Day when you were a kid?
We
Rosaline,
did.
did you do the maypole and?
No, we didn't do maypole. That was very English, I think. We got up early and picked wildflowers, which goes to show that there were wildflowers growing back then.
Mhm.
And then we made them into little bunches and we left them on neighbors' doorsteps as a sign of Queen of the. I think it's another crossover between paganism and Catholicism, where
Mhm.
it was the celebration of the beginning of summer or the end of spring or something a lot,
Mhm.
and then it became like another Mary celebration. I think it was Queen of May or something. I can't remember. It had some religious connection, but I think that the laying of the flowers on doorsteps is a pagan thing.
Mm.
So yeah, we did that, which was lovely. Really nice thing to do.
Yeah, it's a nice
We
tradition.
always had the maypole at church. I mean, my church must have just had a maypole. I don't know. We always had some crossover with paganism
now.
and Unitarianism. So people who wanted to celebrate things like that.
Yeah,
So I remember as a
exactly.
kid, and we would make, little things for our little flower wreaths for our head out of clovers. You guys probably remember that, the little, like the weeds, right? Basically, you would pick them and you tie a little knot around the end of it and you would pull it up against the bottom of the head of the flower before it. And then you could make a long chain and make them
Did you do that with
into.
your brother? Don, did you do that with your brothers?
Every
Wow.
This
Astrid.
is recognizing what I'm talking about. And you'd make
Well, we
like
didn't do it. We do it for
bracelets
May.
and little,
Yep.
hippie headdresses and necklaces and all of that.
Yep. My sisters were all over that. I probably did it a couple times and then went back to my tractors.
Yeah,
So
we
it
would do that
says
for
that-
May Day.
It says that maypole dancing originated in Germany and traveled to the British Isles courtesy of invading forces. And the dance became part of a
Need help.
fertility. Yeah, not recent, I think older invasions. The dance became part of a fertility ritual held every spring in some areas. By the Middle Ages, most villages had an annual maypole celebration, and it was usually erected on the village green. So yeah, that's how we saw it on television, like it's a very kind of English thing. But there you go. And then I think it came to
Anglo-Saxon.
it obviously came to the US with the pilgrims, right?
Maybe it was just something that somebody in my church liked to do. So, I mean, because it was all those ribbons, it was the same pole every year. It was like a big pole and it had the ribbons, and then you would hold a ribbon and
kind of
go
weave on
in different directions, I think, to weave it and go over under, and it would weave the ribbons down the pole.
Oh, look, it says here the 17th century Puritans frowned upon the use of the maypole in celebration. After all, it was a giant phallic symbol in the middle of the village green.
So instead they created the game called tetherball.
That's right. Ball. Yeah.
Do you know what
Yeah.
tetherball is, Rosaline? It's
Is
like
it-
it's a pole with a volleyball on a rope.
Oh yeah, like swing ball.
Yeah,
I guess so. Not with a paddle though. You do it with your hand.
with your hand.
Oh,
Yeah,
right.
It's like as big as a volleyball. Yeah.
Yeah.
not quite as hard as volleyball. At least I don't remember, but still, that's the idea.
Yeah. Oh, I didn't use.
Do they still have those on playgrounds? I haven't seen one of those in a long
Not
time.
a long
They're
time.
probably health and safety nightmare.
Probably. I don't know. Fun though. Fun
But
game.
anyway, the May morning is known as Beltane, which is the Irish for May, the month of May, but it's also the word for spring. So I guess that's a crossover. But then it says, when the British settled in the US, they brought the maypole tradition with them. In Plymouth, in 1627, a man named Thomas Morton erected a giant maypole in his field, brewed a batch of hearty mead, and invited village lasses to come frolic with him.
Ah,
His neighbors were appalled, and Plymouth leader
there,
Miles Stanley
there we go.
came along to speak up, to break up the sinful festivities. And Morton instead wrote a bawdy song around the whole thing. There you go.
This is in Ireland or in the US?
No,
No.
in the States, in
Oh.
Massachusetts. In Plymouth, Massachusetts in 1627. Yeah,
Hmm,
there
okay.
you go.
All right. Well, that's the
Interesting.
background on our loving kindness meditation today.
Right. Always like the education. Always like the education.
Um,
A maypole? Wait, I
A
thought we-
tetherball.